Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sumukascha Yekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketur Ganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvajaha Suklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasya Dviradavaktradhya Parishadhya Parasatam Vignam Nibdhanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamastraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Aklishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedhyaya Gurave Buddhisakshine Krishna Dvaipaya Namvyasam Sarva Bhuta Hiterat Vedabjabhaskaram Vande Samadhi Nilayam Munim Janmadhyasya Yataha Anvayate Itaratascha Arteshu Abhignahat Parat Tene Brahmahida Yaha Adikavaye Muhyanti Yat Surayaha Tejovari Brudam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Brusha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Dharmaha Prochidha Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmat Saranam Satam Vedyam Vaktavam Atra Vastu Sivadam Tapatrayon Molanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kimva Parairisvaraha Sadhyo Hridi Amarudhyatehe Atra Krutibhihi Sustrushibihi Tatshanat Vigama Kalpataror Galitam Palam Sukhamukat Amrutat Dravasam Yutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasikaha Bhuvi Bhavukaha Yam Pravrajantam Anupetam Apeta Krutyam Vaipayano Viraha Katara Ajuhava Putreti Tanmayataya Abhineduhu tam sarvabhuta hridayam munimanatosmi yasvanubhavam akila sutisaram ekam adhyatma deepamati titikshatam tamondhama samsarinam karunayaha purana guhyam tam vyasasūnumupayami gurum muninam Narayanam namaskritya naranchaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Now with Bhagavan's grace, let us continue from where we left in our last session. We concluded Adhyayam 13. Adhyayam 13 and Skandam number 4. And we saw how Anga left the kingdom out of absolute disgust and hopelessness, sense of hopelessness, disgust and depression, and because his son was such a cruel person. Could not be controlled, could not be corrected in spite of all actions taken. So he goes away to the forest and seeking solace and refuge at the only place where we can get solace and refuge. So he goes away, and the people, the pandits, the ministers, the common citizens, they all searched for him all over the place. They could not find. So they came back to the kingdom and informed the group of sages present there and saying that we could not locate or find the king. Up to that point we came. Okay? Rishin Bhartru Viplavam Navedayanne. Rishin, to those, the Munivargal, to those Rishis, Bhartru Viplavam Navedayanne. We did not find the king, they informed them. That's the last slokam. We came in last adhyayam 13. Now, with His grace, we will take up 14th adhyayam. 46 slokangal are there, and all describe the rule of Vena and its demise and the cruelty and the tyrannical rule that is being described here. So I'm not going to spend too much time describing all this in great detail, because that is not going to be beneficial. At the same time, we will cover the slokangal and give you the meaning of other arthangal, and in the grammatical form, the sentence form that we are today trained. I'll help you in understanding the Sanskritam. Then we will move on. With His grace, we will take up slokams 1 through 12 today. Maitreya Uvacha. Maitreya said. Okay, he's continuing. Brigvadayah te munayah lokanam kshemadharsinah goptari asati vai nrunam pasyantah pasu samyatam viram ataram ahuya sunitam brahmavadinah prakriti asammatam Venam abhyashinchan patim bhavaha. Once more, Maitreya Uvacha. Brigvadayah te munayah lokanam kshemadharsinah goptari asati vai nrunam pasyantah pasu samyatam samitam. So, Veeramataram ahuya sunitam brahmavadinah prakriti asammatam venam abhyashinchan patim bhuvaha. Veera, okay, Veera mataram ahuya. Okay, Veera Viduraha is saying now. Lokanam kshemadharsinah, wishing and desiring the well-being and welfare of all the worlds, of the people, kshemadharsinah, te brug vadayah munayah, those munivargal like Bhrigu and all the other munigal, goptari asati, if there is no king, nrunam, for the human beings, for the citizens, what happens? Samyatam pasyantah, animal qualities will increase, will multiply. Everybody will become animalistic, cruel, tyrannical. You need rules and discipline. If there is no king, people go all over the place, right? All behave like animals. Pasu samyatam pasyantah, they could see without king this is what's going to happen, because Anga is no longer there. Brahmavadinah, those Vedic Pandits like Bhrigu and all that, Mataram Sunitam Ahuya, the mother Suniti, they brought her there, Sunitiyai, Sunitiyai, Ahuya, they brought her, okay, Mataram, the mother Suniti, they brought, Prakriti Asammatam, not approved by, not desired by the citizens, Prakriti, by the citizens, by the ministers. Nobody actually approved or agreed to this. Prakriti asammatam, Venam bhuvaha patim, that Venan as the king of the Rajyam, Venam the Venanai, bhuvaha patim for the king, the Rajya, the king, Abhishenchan, they conducted coronation, Abhishekam, Patabhishekam, they made, even though he was not desired or approved. It was not acceptable, but still they made him. So we'll go to slokam 3. I don't think I need to repeat the slokam word. Okay. Srutva virpa asanagatam venam ati ugrasasanam vilyuhu dasyava sadyaha tarpa trastaha iva akhavah. Srutva virpa asanagatam venam ati ugra sasanam Nililyuhu dasyavaha sadhyaha sarpaha sarpatrastaha iva akavaha. Ugrasasanam, one who punishes cruelly, very severely. Ugrasasanam, that Venan, Nirpa asana gatam, he is now sitting, he is now got, okay, on the throne, the royal throne, the king's throne, right? Nirpa asana gatam, one who is now ascended to the throne. Srutya, hearing this, Srutva, hearing that this Venan who punishes extremely cruelly and tyrannically has now ascended to the royal throne. Dasyavaha, the thieves in that place. Sarpa trastaha akavaha. Sarpa trastaha, sarpaha, the snakes. Trastaha, being afraid of. Akavaha, the mouse, the mice, the rats. How the rats run away from the snakes. Like that. Sarpa trastaha akavaha, like that. Sadhyaha, immediately this Dasyavaha, these traders, these kings, the thieves, Sadhyaha, immediately, Vililyuhu, they all hid themselves. Ran and hid themselves as soon as they heard that Venan has now ascended the royal throne. Number 4. Saha आरूढ़ नृपस्थानः उन्नद्धः अष्टविभूतिभिः अवमेने महाभागान् स्तब्धः संभावितः स्वतः. सः आरूढ़ नृपस्थान उन्नद्धः अष्टविभूतिभिः अवमेने महाभागान् स्तब्धः Sambhavitaha Swataha. Swataha, by very nature, by his own nature, Stabdaha, extremely proud, arrogant. Vibhutihi Unnaddaha. One who's now been conferred with all the 8 types of wealth that comes with being a king. Sambhavitaha, now he has been conferred with all that. Saha, that Venan, Arudha Nirpa Sthanaha, as soon as he ascended the royal throne and became the king, Mahabhagan, all those elders, people deserve to be worshipped and revered. All those people, he humiliated them, disregarded them. Avamene, because now he is the king, he has got all the 8 types of wealth, became very powerful. By nature he is arrogant and very proud. No, on top of that, he's got all this power and wealth, everything conferred on him. So he thinks there is no one superior to him. And so he dismissed, humiliated, treated everybody in a very low way, even people who had to be revered. So Mahabhagan Avamene. 5 and 6 together. Evam Madandaha Utthiktaha Kusaha Iva Dhipaha Paryatan Ratam Asthaya Kampayan Iva Rodasi. Evam Madandaha Utthiktaha Nirankusaha Iva Dhipaha Paryatan Ratham Asthaya Kampayan Iva Rodasi. Now, Nayashtavyam, Nadatavyam, Nahotavyam, Vijaha Kvachit, Yavarayat, Dharmam, Bheri, Goshena. Okay. Yavarayat, Dharmam, Nivarayat Bheri Goshena Sarvataha. Okay, I'll take it. Again, just a description, a Sanskrit description, beautiful of what he did. So let's take it up. Evam Madandaha Utthiktaha Nirankusaha Iva Dhipaha Paryatan Ratam Asthaya Kampayan Iva Rodasi Na Yashtavyam, Na Datavyam, Na Hoptavyam Vijaha Kvachit Iti Nivarayat Dharmam Dheri Goshena Sarvasaha. So he became like a mad elephant and uncontrollable, going beyond limits. Like become a madman, like a madman, uncontrollable, and just like the elephant that goes without control, not being able to manage it, goes ransacking everything. Like that, he alighted, ascended his chariot, shaking, creating terror, as if in all around, both the earth and the sky, like that. He was traveling all through the kingdom and telling Brahmanas, no one should do yagam, no one should perform any homam at any time, and no one should do any charities. Like that, with kettle drums, with Devi and all that, and he was announcing it all around the kingdom, traveling, and thereby he obstructed dharmic practices. Evam madandaha utsiktaha nirankusaha iva vipaha. Vipa means elephant. Okay. Evam, thus. Madantaha, mad, crazy. Utsiktaha, nobody to control him. Nirankusaha, ankusam, you all know that Yanepahan uses, okay, a mascot. That thing to control the elephant. But Nirankusaha, uncontrolled, without any control. Therefore, what happens to the elephant? Ransacks and goes beyond limits. There's nobody to control it. Nirankusaha, Dvipaha iva, like that elephant. This Venan, Utsiktaha, Madantaha, Venan, Ratam Asthaya, alighting, ascending his chariot. Rotasi, Kampayan iva. Kampayan means to create terror and make people shake out of fear. Fearsome. Rotasi, both the earth and the sky. Terror striking. Paryatana, he was going all around the kingdom, just not regular travel, going all over. Paryatana. Then he said, Vijaha, ye Brahmins, Kvachit, at no place, at no time, Nayashtavyam, you should not perform any yagam. Kvachit, na datavyam, at any place, at any time, you should not give any charities. Kvachit, na hotavyam, at any place, at any time, you should not perform any homam. Iti. Like this, Sarvasaha, all the places, very goshena, and beating the drums, the kettle drums, announcing like this, creating terror to everyone. Dharmam, dharma tai, dharma practice, dharma achara tai, dharmam. Dharmam cannot be prevented or increased or decreased. Dharmam is stable and constant, changeless. So dharmam, the practice of dharmam, dharma achara tai, nyavarayat, he obstructed. Number 7. Venasya. Now, when something like this happens in the kingdom, there are lots of good people. Rishis are there, Bhrigu, all those Rishigal are there. Not ordinary rishis, Brahma rishis. Their only kuriko objective in their life is to serve and do anything and everything for the welfare of everyone. That's all. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhav. That's all. The only impulse they have. Okay. So, when people like that are there, and then if you have such a tyrannical ruler, how will they think? What will they do? And they can also foresee, they can also project what kind of destruction is going to happen, etc., etc. So naturally, now they come into play. They say, Venasya avekshya munayaha durvrittasya vicheshtitam loka vyasanam kripaya uchuhu sma satrinaha. Venasya avekshya munayoho durvrittasya vicheshtitam vimrasya loka vyasanam kripaya uchuhu sma satrinaha. So, satrinaha, people who perform the Satra Yagam, the Munigal. Satrinaha Munayaha, this Munis performing Satra Yagam, that is what they do. For thousands of years it goes. You and I cannot even imagine the amount of discipline and difficulties involved in this. Okay? But for the welfare and well-being and of everybody. What does it mean? That means we're doing this yagam through the Veda mantrangal that are said and that go through the as vibrations, sound vibrations in this akasam, and that purifies people's thought processes. If you're in a good environment, a peaceful environment, if you go and have darshan of Mahapariva, for example, so peaceful, or Ramana Maharishi, people like that, in their vicinity you feel so peaceful because the vibrations are so full of love and peace. So this is what the Veda mantrangal do. So every thought of yours and mine is a wave that affects everybody else in the world, the whole world, not only the near vicinity. So to purify all that, you have to have spread loving thoughts. The Veda mantrangal are extremely powerful in that. That's why uttering and listening to uttering Veda mantram is very important, and properly, with the proper pronunciation and Shruti and Swaram, that sound vibration purify the atmosphere. That is why we recite Rudram. Rudram is very important, okay? So Ekadasa Rudram is done, all those, Atirudra Mahayagya, all those, that Rudram is the most powerful for that, for purifying. So anyway, Satrinaha Munayaha, the Munigal performing Satrayagam, those Munigal, Durvrittasya Venasya Vicheshtitam Avekshya. Durvrittasya Venasya, the Venanudeya. Durvrittasya, what type of a person is Venan? Durvrittasya, only cruel, bad thoughts are continuously growing and growing and growing at accelerating pace in his mind. So a person with extremely bad conduct and behavior. Durvrittasya, okay, ketta nadatai, we say, right? Durvrittasya venasya, that Venanudeya. Vicheshtikam, all the tyrannical, cruel activities. Avekshya, seeing this. So all these Munigal, they see all this cruel activities done by being done by this cruel person, Vena. Then they said, oh my God, Loka Vyasanam Vimrasya. All this will create trouble, misery, suffering for all the people. Vyasanam, Loka Vyasanam. Misery and suffering for the people in the world. Vimrasya. They thought about this. They analyzed it. Okay? Then they said, Kripaya, with very lovingly, very compassionately, Uchuhu Sma, they spoke. Venasya Aveksha Munayaha Durvrittasya Vicheshtitam Vimrasya Loka Vyasanam Kripaya Uchuhu Sma Satrinaha. Number 8. Aho Ubhayataha Praptam Lokasya Vyasanam Mahate Dharuni Ubhayatoho Deepte Iva Taskara Palayoho. It's a beautiful example. How do you suffer? What kind of a thing takes place in the environment? Okay? What type of sufferings are there, miseries are there, dangers are there, right? if a danger attacks you from all directions, if a log is burning at both ends, a piece of wood, piece of log, or a tree that burns from both ends, or a tree that has got fire coming at it from both sides. Okay? So, and if you're an ant on the tree, how will you feel? Okay? That's the example given here. They say, this Munigal says, oh my God, oh, what a misery, what difficulties. These people are now like a log that's being burnt from both ends. They're suffering on both sides. On one side, the thieves are robbing them. On another side, the tyrant king is making their life miserable. Caught between these two, these people suffer greatly. Aho, ubhayataha praptam lokasya vyasanam mahatu. Dharuni ubhayatoho dite iva taskara palayoho. Taskara means thief, palayoho king. Aho, oh my God, what a misery it is. Oh, Dharuni ubhayataha dite iva. Dharuni, a wood piece of wood, a log. Ubhayataha, from both ends. Dite iva, like it is being burning. It's on fire on both ends. Like that. Dharuni ubhayataha dite iva. Lokasya, for these people living in this kingdom, for the makkalukku, okay, for the people. Taskara palayoho. Taskara, the thief on one end. Palayoho, the king on the other end. Ubhayataha, by these two people, by these the people. Mahatvyasanam, great difficulties and sufferings, praptam, has happened. Aho, ubhayataha praptam lokasya vyasanam mahat. Daruni ubhayatoho deepte iva taskara palayoho. Number 9. Arajaka bhayat yesha krutaha tat arhanaha. Tataha api asit bhayam tvadya katam syat swasti dehinam. Arajaka bhayat yesha krutaha raja tat arhanaha. Tatopi asit bhayam tvadya tu adya katam syat swasti dehinam. This man was made a king even though he doesn't deserve to be king, because the kingdom was going to be without a king. Because of that, this man was made a king even though he doesn't deserve. No qualifications. Now situation has become even worse than being without a king. He was made a king because there was no king. Because he had to protect the people, and therefore, even though he was not followed by people, nobody approved it, nobody liked it, nobody wanted it, he was made as a king. Now the situation is even worse, because even more than that, additional, more fear has now come now. So how can Kshemam, how can peace and security we now can happen to all the beings in the kingdom? Katam syat, swasti katam syat, is what they were saying. Arajaka bhayat, because of the fear, the concern, the apprehension, the bhayat, the fear of, oh my God, without being a king, a rudderless, a rulerless place is so bad, isn't it? Because of that fear, Ata darshanaha is not corrected. Our word is, Ata darshanaha, correct. Raja, Ata darshanaha. That means without with not deserving. Yeshaha, even though he was not deserving, Yeshaha, this Venan, Raja Krutaha, was made the king. Rajaka Bhayat, Arhanaha Yeshaha Rajakriti. Rajakritaha. Okay, you have made a Raja, king. Now, Adya, now what has happened? Adya too, now, Tatopi, Ayam Asit, Tatopi, even more than that. Ayam Asit, the fear has come, more fear has come. Now, Dehinam, for all the being, the citizens, Swasti Katham Syat, well-being, peace, security, welfare, Katham, how Syat is going to happen, is what they're asking, they're thinking. Arajaka Bhayat, Ata Darhanaha, Yeshaha, Raja Kritaha, Adya, now, Tatopi Bhayam Asit, Dehi Swasti Katham Syat. Number 10. The next one is beautiful. We all have Paluk Visham, Paluk, Pambuk Paul Utinal Pol, right? That's a phrase that you all know in Tamil. Okay. And Pambuk Paul Utinal Pol. That's a beautiful, that same example is coming here. You're going to read that in Sanskritam now. So what happens? The same snake can turn around and bite you. Isn't it? That's the meaning of that. So, Ahehe iva payaha poshaha poshakasya api arthabhrutu. I think you understand the Sanskritam now, right? Payaha means milk. The word payasam that we all love has come from the root word payaha, milk. Okay? Ahehe iva, ahe means snake. Ahehe iva payaha poshaha poshakasya api anarthabhrut venaha prakrutyaiva khalaha sunita garbha sambhavaha. Ahehe iva paya poshaha poshakasya api anarthabhrut venaha prakrutyaiva khalaha sunita garbha sambhavaha. So, a kingless place, a tyrannical king is appointed, the situation becomes even worse. So that's what? Ahehe, for a snake, pambirku, payaha, poshaha iva, pal utudal pol, giving milk like that. Made a king. You've been made a king. It's like giving milk to a snake. Ahehe payaha poshakaiva. Now, poshakasya api, the one who gives the milk, the one who nourishes it, in this case, people who have made him the king, anartha bhrutu. It is capable of causing misery and suffering and pain and hurt. Anartha bhrutu, it is capable of that. Like that. Sunita garbha sambhavaha, the one who is born from the womb of Suniti, this Venaha, Venan, Prakrutyaiva, by his own nature, right from the birth. Kalaha, he is a tyrant. Ahehe iva payaha poshaha poshakasyapi anarthabhrutu venaha prakrutyaiva khalaha sunita garbha sambhavaha. Number 11. Nirupitaha prajapalaha saha jighamsati vai prajaha tatapi santayema amum na asmat tat patakam spruset. Now, it's a very important lesson here. They could have easily sat and be absolutely nonchalant, continued their prayers. But they say, no, we have a duty. We have to go and pacify the king, give him good advice. Because if I don't do that, tomorrow the same papam will also affect them because they have not done their duty. They have to sansvaya, coming to pacify, to give good counsel, right? We have to do that. Otherwise, this is bad deeds, the cruel deeds is doing, that we will also be part of that. Nirupitaha prajapalaha sa jigamsati vai prajaha tathapi santayema amum da asmat tat patakam sprusete. Asman na asman tat patakam sprusete. Prajapalaha nirupitaha. Nirupitaha, in this case, appointed. Prajapalaha, as a king. Prajapalaha nirupitaha saha vai. That he who has been appointed as a king, saha vai, he himself. Avane. Saha jigamsati. He himself now wants to kill his own citizens, his own people. Jigamsati. Saha vai prajaha. He himself now wants to kill the citizens. Tathapi. Nevertheless, even if it is like that, amum santayema. Amum, even I, him, santayema. Let us pacify, give good counsel. Let us correct him, correct his behavior. Though he is now killing his own citizens, let us specify and bring some good sense, good buddhi to him. Give him advice. What to do, how not to do, how to stop it. At least that action we must take. Tat patakam. Yeah, why should we do this? Tat patakam. His cruel activities and the papam, all these activities. Asman. Us. Nammai. Na spruset. Should not touch us. In other words, we have to do our dharmic activity. Okay, if I don't do that, then I am also participating in this adharmic activity. Nirupitaha prajapalaha saha jigamsati vai prajaha tatapi santayema amum na asman tat patakam spruset. 12 and 13. Tat vidvadbihi asad vruttah venaha asmabihi kruto upaha santpitaha yadi vacham na grahishyati adharmakrit. That is Slokam number 12. Let us take that first. Tat vidvadbihi asad vruttah venah asmabihi krutah nrupah. That most of it now you understand that Sanskrit. Santpitaha yadi no yadi naha vacham nagrahishyati adharmakrute. Okay. Then up to that point I will translate and then we'll go to Slokam 30. Okay? Even though the sentence is not complete. Tat avanai, him. Vidvadbihi, knowing him very well. Knowing him very well. As what? Vrittaha, doing impious, all impure, all cruel activities. Asat vrittaha, okay? Very impious and arrogant and cruel and all that. We know that. Tat vidvadbihi. So we knowing that. Asmabihi, by us. Nrupaha krutaha, being made a king. This Venaha, this Venan. The Venan, we know him, knowing his activities very well, knowing his impious nature, an imperial nature, cruel nature, arrogant, tyrannical nature very well. And this Venan who has been made a king by us, Asmabihi, Nrupaha Krutaha, Kritu Venaha, Adharma Kritu, one who is doing all the cruel activities, this Venaha, this Venan. Sanpitaha, being pacified, even after being pacified, Naha Vacham, Sanpitaha, no, this no is Naha, okay? Naha Vacham Yadi Na Grahishyati. Let us take that sense. Sanpitaha Naha Vacham Na Grahishyati Yati. Sanpitaha Naha Vacham Na Grahishyati Yadi. After being pacified by us, not accepting our advice, our pacifying words and our words, if he is not accepting them, Sanpitaha Yadi Naha Vacham Na Grasishvati Adharma Krite, this man who is doing adharmam. Then Slokam 13, Lokadikkara Sandagdham Dahishyamaha Satejasa. Okay, that sentence I'll describe to you, and then we'll move on with the remaining part of 13. Because some padagal are new. Lokadikkaraha. He doesn't accept our good words and advice. Okay. Then what will happen? Lokadikkar. He will be banished by everybody. The whole citizens will criticize him. Okay, they will know what has happened. And with the because Lokadikkara Sadagdham, because he has dismissed our advice, satisfied to follow the right path, because he has dismissed it, the whole citizenry, the whole kingdom, the people everywhere will criticize him. Okay, they will hold them in very low esteem, and because of that, Sandagdham, he will be banished. And this when that happens, Satejasa Dahishyama, with our Tejas, we will burn him. And everybody will approve of this. Now, as part of the whole citizenry rising against him, this atrocity being done by him, as part of that, with Satejasa, by our power and Tejas, we will Dahishyama, we will burn him, is what they say. Then Yevam Adhyavasayainam Adhyavasaya Yevam Adhyavasaya Yenam Munayaha Ghuta Manyavaha Upavajya Abruvan Venam Santayitva Cha Samabihi. Evam Adhyavasaya Yenam Munayaha Gudha Manyavaha Upavrijya Abruvan Venam Santayitva Cha Samabihi. Evam, thus, Adhyavasaya, deciding. These Munigal. Gudha Manyavaha. Manyu means anger. Gudha Manyavaha, controlling the anger. So they control their anger. Gudha Manyavaha, Munayaha. Yenam Venam, this Venanai, this Venan. Upavrijya, they approached him. They approached this Venan. Samabihi Santayitva. Samabihi Santayitva. With very good words, spoken lovingly, peacefully. They tried to pacify him. They calmed him down with very good, loving words. See, when somebody is burning and angry and all that, you speak to them lovingly, calmly, with sweet words, right? Immediately, it tries to calm him down a little bit, isn't it? Samabihi Santayitva. with good words, spoken in a good, loving manner. They calmed him down, to calm him down. And after calming down, Amruvan, they spoke to him. So, these Rishigal, look at all this. They're concerned. My God, these atrocities cannot continue like this, because people are already suffering. Their suffering has increased. Fear has increased tremendously. If this continues, it's not good. So they're worried, concerned about the welfare. So they say, what should we do? We should approach him, give him good advice. We should try to calm him down. Otherwise, we will also have to take the blame for this, for the part of this atrocities. So they decided like that. They said, we know this Vena very well. He is impious, cruel, tyrannical, and he has been made a king by us. Now, suppose if he doesn't listen to our good words and discards them, then because of that action, all the citizens also will rise against him. They will not only criticize, they'll banish him. Now, in that situation, we can, with our own powers, Sathya, we will burn him. Like that, they decided. Then, controlling their anger, they approached this Vena and spoke to him good words in a very sweet, loving manner to calm him down. They talked to him. Okay? Lokadikkara sandagdham dagishyamaha satejasa evam adhyavasaya yenam munayoho gudha manyavaha upavrajya abruvan venan santayitva cha samabihi. Now, Slokam 14 is Munayaha Uchuhu, the Rishigal now spoke. And what did they spoke? With Swami says, we will take it up tomorrow. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Om Sante Sante Santihi Harihi Om.